Hello everyone and welcome to Photo Finds. I'm your host Gavin Hatch and this is episode number 118 and we are doing a time hop for the month of August. We're looking at 2012, 13, 14, 15, and 16 to see what was going on in the parks around the beginning of August, and there's lots of changes since then, so let's take a look. But before we do that, real quick, make sure you stay towards the end of the video because I do have a special announcement that I will be making at the end of this Photo Finds. So let's get to the pictures. Now in 2012, Kevin Yee went over to the California Adventure Park at Disneyland Resort, and this Cars Land, as you can see here, was brand new. It was very exciting, and I have since been, and I am so impressed, and I love Cars Land. It is so detailed. It stays true to the films. Of course, Disney does that with all their lands, but it's really fun. I love it. They have some great attractions as well. Now, the most popular attraction is Radiator Springs Racers. This attraction, fast passes for this would go and be gone and given out for the entire day, within the first hour of the park opening up. I'm not sure if that's still the same case. I'm sure it is, but this is one attraction that is just so well done. It's the same type of ride system as Test Track. As you can see here at the ride track, it looks very similar to Test Track because it's the same exact type of ride system and ride designer, and it is, I feel like, better than Test Track. So it is something that is worth the trip over to the West Coast to do. I love the racers. Now this land, even though it's still relatively new, it does already have some changes made to it. There have been changes. We do have this attraction here, Luigi's Tires, was taken out just because it was... I think they just had some issues with the technology and the type of ride system, but a similar ride is still there now, but it doesn't use air anymore. It's now using I want to say magnets. I'm not sure exactly what the ride system is or what type of system is used to make it work, but this used to be air, so kind of like the flying saucers. It's a flying saucer type of attraction that they had at Disneyland back in the 60s, and that attraction was taken out a long time ago. But this was something that was one of John Lasseter's favorite attractions at Disneyland, so that's why he wanted this to be in here. So it's kind of like a 2.0 version, but it did not last too long just because I think they just had lots of issues with operations with the ride system. Still in the same park over at California Adventure, this attraction had already been open, the Voyage of Little Mermaid, or Little Mermaid attraction. This had been open, but at the time, in 2012, Florida at the Magic Kingdom, ours was being built. The attractions are very similar, but do have some differences. The main thing, the biggest change between the attractions, is not even in the ride itself, it's the queue. The queue at California Adventure is more basic. It's not as heavily themed. I definitely love our immersive queuing at our Little Mermaid attraction here at the Magic Kingdom in Florida. Now jumping to 2013, over on the East Coast at Universal Studios Florida, we had some progress over in Springfield, USA, which is the Simpsons themed land. Now I am not a huge Simpsons fan. I love the characters, I love the humor, but I don't really even watch it that often. If it's on, I'll watch it, but I don't record it. I don't, tune into it unless it's just already on in progress. But it is a really cool franchise, and a lot of international guests love it, especially over in the UK. I know it's pretty big as well. So the Simpsons Land, or Springfield, USA, Bumblebee's truck, taco truck, had opened up in the early August period of 2013. They had just pretty much opened almost everything except the Twirl and Hurl had not opened, which we'll see in just a second here. But one of the things I really love about this land is the grass. They really don't have real grass. It's that the turf. So it always looks beautiful, green, well cut, and it's easy to maintain and clean. So I love that feature. And speaking of Twirl and Hurl, this is where you can see, even though the restaurants and the shops had opened and the Duff Gardens and Brew Gardens, all that stuff had already opened, the attraction Twirl and Hurl had not opened up yet. So I love, though, that the Simpsons, the main ride had been there for years before the rest of this land was added on. Something that, you got to make sure you try when you go there is the Buzz Cola. Buzz Cola is delicious, and of course it is from the franchise, from the show. And then Duff Beer. They do serve Duff Beer, and you can get that and grab it and walk around the park with it. Not in glass, though, but Duff Beer is really good. They do have Duff Dry, Duff Light, so try all of those out while you're there. It is delicious. Now in 2014, staying in Universal Studios Florida, they opened up in 2014 the Film Vault, which is a really unique store compared to most theme park merchandise locations and stores that you can find anywhere. So the merchandise in here is not just your typical, you know, just generic merchandise for attractions that they sell in all the stores. They do have stuff in here that you can't find in the other stores around the park and around the resort. So I really do love the Film Vault. Its location is on Delancey Street. The store itself is pretty themed, and it's neat. For a number of years, this was used for the preview center before they built the NBC Media Center on the other side of the lake there in the park. Now in here, of course, these photos were taken when the store opened up. So some of this merchandise that you see, if you like it, they may still have it, they may not have it. So just be aware of that. But they did have Scarface merchandise in here, shirts and mugs and tumblers and just different things related to the Scarface film. Now, of course, that is not an attraction. That character, that franchise is not shown anywhere in Universal Studios Florida or referenced except here inside this store. So it's pretty cool. They also have Ghostbusters, which Ghostbusters is not a universal release, but they did have the licensing for using the merchandise and likeness of the characters in certain ways. They can't use it in attractions anymore, but they of course had the Ghostbusters Spooktacular show here back when the park opened up. So they do have merchandise. They still have this stuff, I know that. And they have really cool posters. Some of these posters you can purchase up in the front of the park, but there's just always a wide variety, so you can get a lot to choose from here in this store, and I just love these vintage movie posters, especially the classic monsters. I love the classic monsters of Universal. But overall, the store is, it's not huge, but it's a nice little store to get into, and it's just full of cool little things. You never know what you're going to find. They have some high-ticketed items in there from time to time. But my favorite store in this park is Williams of Hollywood. Now, I don't have pictures of that, but I have gone there before with photo finds. Williams of Hollywood is over on Hollywood Boulevard across from the Pantages Theater, and it is full of all kinds of cool stuff, actual antiques that have nothing to do with the parks. And then they also have stuff in there that are from closed attractions or stores that were like hanging up as display items that you can actually buy and take home. Now in 2015, I took you guys in the beginning of August over to Hollywood Studios. Now Hollywood Studios at the time was really heavy on Frozen. Frozen was a big deal at that time, and they had the Ice Palace Boutique over where you can now meet Mickey and Minnie, and this was over where you used to audition for the American Idol experience, if you guys remember that. So the Ice Palace Boutique was pretty much, it's like Bippity Boppity Boutique, except it is all just themed and only themed to the Frozen characters. And it is something that is no longer there, but it wasn't there too long, actually. Now, I never got to go inside and take pictures of the actual area because they do have strict rules for the safety and privacy of, the children and the minors that are in there. So you can't go in there and take photos unless you are with your own child and have a reservation. But I did kind of peek my head in there when I went in to ask if I could take pictures, and it looked pretty cool. It was really nice, but it is something that is no longer there, but this space is now being used for meet and greets with Mickey and Minnie. Now on the other side of that building, they were showing the Frozen Fever short film, which was something that premiered at the beginning and showed in theaters at the beginning of the Cinderella live action film. Frozen Fever is not a sequel to the Frozen film, it's just its own movie, but it does take place after, of course, the first film, and we have Frozen 2 coming out sooner than later. It's the second film. The franchise continues. Of course, Frozen is very popular and will probably remain popular for quite some time, but now this park is mainly targeted towards Star Wars, so lots of the stuff that we're looking at now, like this theater, is now themed to Star Wars and has the film in there representing that franchise. Now over at the Magic Kingdom, still the same year, 2014, we had a look here at, 2015, I apologize, 2015, we have a look here at the stage where we now have Mickey's Royal Friendship Fair, which is a wonderful production and replaced Dream Along with Mickey. And the stage was remodeled and redone. It wasn't expanded or anything, it just had to get refurbished. Probably for safety, to help the dancers, and just, it wears out with having people dance on it all day, every day. So, and also with this Florida weather, it's definitely something you got to do. So it has since been finished, and all of this is gone. All the fencing and such is gone, and the stage is beautiful, and it's a great show. Check it out sometime. Now going to 2016, it's so hard to look at these pictures. Well, not hard, but it's just so weird to look at these pictures because this was taken just a year ago. And to think that this is Volcano Bay, as if you couldn't tell already, this is Volcano Bay under construction. It is crazy to see how it went from muddy dirt and no slides, or just partial slides, no, just nothing really. It's just really skin and bones here, or just bones of the park. You can see that it has grown. This park has now since opened, and it is beautiful. It's an absolutely stunning park with heavily themed areas, really fun attractions using Tapu Tapu technology, delicious food and drinks, and it's so cool how it has come together, and it's already completed. And I love progress, and I love construction and stuff like this, and just to see how Universal was able to do this so quickly, build an entire park very quick, in less than 2 years, where we've had themed lands and other parks that have taken over 4 years. So it's so crazy how fast things can go. But it wasn't rushed and done. And it's beautiful. It was done well, and it looks great today. So I absolutely love Volcano Bay, and if you guys have not checked it out yet, definitely do so. But a little tip for you: get there as early as you can. We're talking like 7 a.m. because this park, during peak seasons, which all summer it has been, closing for capacity before 10 a.m. Some days before 9, because of just a lot of guests wanting to come in, and they can't let everyone in. So get there early for Volcano Bay if you want to go. It is worth getting up early, though, trust me. Alright, and that will do it for this week's edition of Photo Finds. I hope all of you have a wonderful week. Now, I want to just go ahead and give you a little heads up to let you know what is going on with the future of Photo Finds. So, as of August 15th, that will be a Tuesday, that will be my last episode hosting Photo Finds. So I will not be doing Photo Finds after August 15th. So make sure you tune in next week, and of course on the 15th, because I want to do something special. If you guys have any ideas of where you want me to go, do something really specific. I can't guarantee it. I can take requests, but comment below. Let me know what you want to see, but I will not be hosting after the 15th. Now, I do not know, and I can't give you an answer on what's going on with Photo Finds after that. It may continue, it may not, but if it does, of course, you'll have a new host, and just, stay tuned. Always watch it. Don't stop watching all because I don't do it. Please continue watching Photo Finds. And I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I will see you next week. Make sure you subscribe to Attractions Magazine. And most importantly, make sure you get out, have fun, and enjoy those parks.